In this video, traders, we're going to look at 8 questions to ask yourself when you lose concentration from the Trading to Win book by Ari Kiev. Stay tuned. Hey traders and investors, or anyone who's involved with the markets, a warm welcome to you. Okay, so Trading to Win, pretty good book, Ari Kiev. Going to do a series of videos talking about some of the main points that he gets to in the video. If you haven't got the book, recommend getting it. It's one of the better ones out of the kind of psychological subsection or psychology subsection of trading, so it's worth looking at. Anyway, one of the things he talks about here is when you're losing concentration, what are the things you need to ask yourself? And he puts 8 reasons or 8 questions down to ask when you start losing that concentration in your trading. The first one is this: what are the recurring issues that keep you from moving forward in your trading? So this is interesting because whilst you probably would expect a different first question, right? I was reading this through and I thought that's a pretty unusual first question. Actually, when you think about it, it makes perfect sense. The recurring issues that keep you from moving forward are the things that probably divert your concentration away. Now that could be external issues, it could be internal issues, it could be performance related, it could be completely something outside of trading. But that's an interesting question to start off with. Then he goes on, we'll come back to that because you'll see how these all kind of integrate with each other. Number 2, what are you afraid of? So obviously in trading terms, not afraid of a monster coming through the door or whatever it may be. What are you afraid of? So this is an interesting question because most people are going to say, I'm losing my money. I'm pretty sure that's what any trader would be afraid of. That's the only thing really you can be afraid of. But go one extra layer onto that. What are you afraid of? I.e., I'm afraid of making money and giving it back. I'm afraid of never being able to become profitable. I'm afraid of always, whatever it may be, you know, start to dig a couple more layers after the obvious losing money. Then number 3 is, what is the life principle that gets in the way of action? So here he's talking about, you know, are you concerned about taking risk? Are you concerned about succeeding in the markets, or some real internal thing that could be preventing you or causing a roadblock for you to push forward? Let's go on to number 4, and again we'll come back to all these in one big group in a second. So number 4, he says, what is it that you think might happen that keeps you from staying on track? What is it that you think might happen that keeps you from staying on track? So back to the point here, we're losing concentration. Why are we losing concentration? What is it that you think could happen that keeps you from staying on track? What are the things that do happen to you that might happen that stop you from being focused, doing exactly the right thing that you need to do in your trading? Those are the things you need to list down. Number 5, how does your personal history hold you back in your efforts to trade successfully? So this is really relative to, hey, how are you brought up? Were you brought up you know, in a blue collar environment where, you know, mother and father were working hard and they were kind of earning a paycheck and doing, you know, good, solid work, but their ethic was work hard, save everything you've got, keep the money, put food on the table and pay bills, which, you know, is one kind of family environment some people are brought up in. And if that's the case, then maybe you have a problem with risk. Maybe it would be frowned upon in that environment for you to take £1,000 and risk it on a trade, $1,000 to risk it on a trade. Your subconscious is all about working hard for your money, keeping it, providing for the family, putting food on the table, etc, etc, etc. Whereas perhaps, you know, if you flip to the other side of the coin, the personal history, it might be that perhaps your family environment was full of entrepreneurs and perhaps they took too much risk or failed or whatever it may be. And so that's embedded in your mindset from your personal history of, hey, risk equals failure equals a lower quality of life. So just 2 kind of opposite ends of the spectrum examples. Obviously your own will be formed for you personally, but how your personal history holds you back in an effort to trade successfully. His question here is write it down and then we'll work out exactly, you know, how we can overcome that and move forward. Number 6, how do your recurrent self-doubts limit possibility? So again, seriously deep, as you'd expect from a kind of book like this from Ari Kiev, but often the deep-rooted things are the things that need to be fixed before we go on to kind of the strategy and the operational perspective of it. So recurrent self-doubts could be, hey, you know what, I was always told I'm never going to be successful. I don't think I've got the ability to become one of the better traders. You know, I'm constantly, breaking my rules if we're going to kind of down that alleyway, whatever it may be. Something that is that negative talk that is doubting you about achieving what you want to do in your trading. Number 7, when you lose money in a trade, do you consider whether you failed to formulate your plans to ensure that the trade was successful? So here he's saying, did you lose money because you weren't taking a trade that you'd planned? Had you failed to formulate your plan? Now, one thing I might mention here is ensuring the trade successful is probably from the perspective of successful being, did you execute it correctly? Obviously success, if we relate it to financial gain, we don't know in trading, we never can know. But the point here is probably more of, hey, have you formulated the plans and you've executed them correctly? And so the losing money on the trade, it wasn't down to bad planning, it was just down to you. It wasn't down to you not executing the plan, should I say. It was down to just the fact that just trades don't work. So it's that distinct difference between the two. And number 8, are you willing to commit to your goal as though there are no alternatives? And interestingly, there's a kind of synergy between this and multiple other disciplines like athletics, business, etc. When people commit to the goal and they do whatever they can to get to that goal, whether that is, physical fitness, whether that is kind of wealth, success, or whatever it may be, you see the guys who have achieved that, often the one thing they say is, hey, you know what, I just committed to it and I just did everything I needed to do to get to it. So these are 8 questions to ask when you lose concentration. If we roll back to the first few and the kind of theme between them others, like I say, the summary is to dig down into the recurring issues that keep you from moving forward. Is there something that is constantly coming up that you need to deal with? Very often it comes up, and if we don't look at it head on, it will just keep coming up, and we'll never make any progress. So the first one, the most important one, is what's the recurring issue to keep you from moving forward? Tackle that, deal with that. What are you afraid of? What is the life principle that gets in the way of action? What is it you think might happen that keeps you from staying on track? Look at all those, answer all those questions, personal history, your self-doubts, all this kind of deep dive into your mindset and psychology to unroot anything that might be causing you to hold back, might be putting the anchors on your progress, might make you have progress and then pull you right back again. These 8 questions are the kind of good things. And the final one, really not really a question, but is kind of a rhetorical question if you like, or it is a question, a statement to yourself to say in the mirror, are you willing to commit to your goal as there are no alternatives? And if the answer to that is yes, you're probably going to loop back round to 1 and start doing 1 again. What the recurring issues? What am I afraid of? What are my life principles? So interesting approach and 8 questions to ask when you lose concentration, and that probably is on a kind of larger time scale, not kind of individual during the trading day. It's a thing of I'm losing focus, I'm losing concentration on what I'm trying to achieve in my trading career. Let me go back, let me review the 8 questions, and let's see if I can push forward again. All right guys, take care, see you in the next one, bye bye.